Okay, public encounters. This becomes a habit. It's not by happenstance, okay? So public encounters has to be a habit. What I mean by that is, for example, the gym. Raise your hand if you go to the gym. Say, I do. No, you don't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, so if you go to the gym, raise your hand if you do weights. No, don't lie to me again, dude. You don't look like it. So he's over here on the bench press. What I would do is I would say, I have to get a spotter every time I go to the gym. And when I say spotter, I say, hey, bro, you spot me real quick? So what do you do? Does that make sense? My goal, or my habit that I created, was I had to talk to one person new every time I went to the gym. So I knew I had to go at different times of the day. I maybe went to different gyms. And I started to create a network of people in these gyms to start building relationships. Some of you guys are like, I'm kind of an introvert. I'd be scared to do that. I'm like, we're talking about public, like you can get talented people by just opening your mouth. Does that make sense? You guys following me? So the other one is you got to be being sold. So what I mean by that is, if you don't believe in what you do, it's hard for you to invite the waiter because they're working at Chili's, which is a better job than door to door. So that goes back to your conviction of the job. Where am I at? Okay, so a big thing on public encounters is, does anybody ever go to the malls? Malls are dying, right? So you go meet the people in those kiosks, great place to get a recruit. You know, the AT&T store there, the little people selling you the hand sanitizers from Israel. Did anybody ever get those like lotion things from, you ever get the Israeli peoples in the mall that are like, hey man, you want to buy some makeup? And you're like, whoa, calm down, man. One of my really, really good friends, this is why I brought this up. Greg knows him, Shalev. He was an Israeli sniper, literally sharpest dude that like just ripped. Comes to America or comes to Canada, doesn't even make it to America. Goes to Canada. He's on like this, I need to get out of Israel because they're going to murder me. Because I have been, this is my Israeli accent. I'm not very Israeli. Send this to Shalev. This would be great. Need to come to America. There's a lot of freedom. And so he gets here, and this guy owns an alarm company. He's a buddy of ours, Grant. And he shows up, and the guy's selling him that lotion stuff, right? And he's like, dude, you need to come work for me. You're really, really good at this. Public encounter, right? And he's like, what's your number? He's like, I don't have a phone. He's like, what? He's like, you don't have a phone? He's like, no. He's like, well, what's your number? I can't, how do I get a hold of you? He's like, I don't have a phone. Like, I'm here. I'm an immigrant. I'm trying to make it. He's like, you're extremely talented. So guess what he does? He's like, I'll be back in a minute. Graham literally goes down the freaking mall all the way to the AT&T store. He buys him a phone. He runs back, and he says, here's a phone. Answer it. I'm going to call you, and we're going to talk. He's like, what? So this guy Shalev's like, thank you. And anyway, he calls him. He hires him. Shalev is now currently the president of sales. They just sold their Canadian division for $105 million 3 months ago. So the question is, he met him at a frickin' thing. Greg worked there for 10 years. He met him in a frickin' kiosk in a mall. He was willing to go buy the guy a phone, hand it to him, saw talent, and was confident and bold enough to say, you're better than this. Come knock doors. Most of you guys are like, oh, it'd be so scary to say that. The dude didn't even have a phone. Am I right or am I right? Say yes. So 2 rules. Ready? Here's your thing. Write it down. Open your mouth and share your story. You need to practice your story. If your story is compelling, meaning I was a recovering alcoholic, just got my 2nd felony, looking for a job, and I couldn't freaking get even a job because nobody would hire me. Oh, shoot. Nobody would hire me. And look where I'm at now. I drive the car of my dreams, live in the house of my dreams, and if I hadn't have gone and knocked, school hard knocks, I don't know where I'd be at. You could do the same. Like whatever your story is, open your mouth, share your story. Those are the 2 rules.